Issa, a YouTuber who documents her life living and traveling in a van, usually shares peaceful vlogs of her adventures across North America, scenic drives, quiet forests, and cozy nights on the road. But in February 2022, she uploaded something very different. A video that left her audience deeply unsettled. That night, around 4:30 a.m., Issa was asleep in her van when she suddenly woke to the sound of knocking right next to her head. Frozen in fear, she sat silently, trying to process what she'd just heard. Then, the knock came again. Heart pounding, she nervously muttered a confused hello, but there was no response. For the next 15 minutes, everything was eerily silent. Just when she began to think it was over, she heard footsteps circling her van once more. This time, Issa grabbed her camera and started recording.
Somebody's back here again. I hear footprints. Hello? How can I help you? It's 4:30 in the morning. I don't feel safe. Who are you? I hear footprints. Hear that? Yeah, somebody was just here again 3 times now. The 3rd time I looked out, they were walking on foot. I seen them walking and they hid behind the big tree there. And then they went to a car, the same car that was here earlier. Well, that was back, and then it backed away and left again. 3 times in one night. This time, they didn't knock though. They were just walking around. I could hear them walking around the van.
When daylight came, she stepped outside and discovered footprints all around her van, evidence that someone had indeed been there, watching, waiting.
So I come out this morning and you can see footprints. Look at this one. This is mine. I'll show you. There's mine. See? They were actually... There's some more. Look at that. They came here. They were standing here, as you can see.
Some viewers suggested it might have been a thief looking for valuables. But if that were true, why return twice after hearing her voice inside? The more chilling possibility is that whoever was out there that night had far darker intentions. Cassandra is a TikToker known for sharing casual glimpses of her everyday life, never anything strange or unsettling. But one night, she uploaded something completely different. Around 3 a.m., while staying in her cabin, Cassandra was jolted awake by strange noises outside. Curious but uneasy, she peeked out her window and spotted what appeared to be a tall, shadowy figure moving just beyond her fence. She grabbed her phone to record, but when she looked again, the figure was gone.
Moments later, when she stepped closer for a better look, the figure vanished.
Replaced by a lone cat standing exactly where it had been. Moments later, a loud knock echoed through her door, sending chills down her spine. Cassandra later shared in an update that she immediately called the police. Officers reportedly drove past her house but didn't stop, later claiming they found nothing unusual. Some dismissed the event as a prank or a trick of the light, magnified by fear. But the eerie transformation from a figure to a cat unsettled many viewers, especially those who noted the original shape seemed to have horns. This bizarre turn of events has sparked endless speculation. Was Cassandra the victim of a harmless prank, a stalker lurking in the shadows, or something far more disturbing, perhaps even supernatural? On May 22, 2021, YouTuber Junkyard Fox uploaded one of the most unsettling camping experiences ever caught on camera. And honestly, it's a miracle he made it out alive. He had ventured deep into West Texas to spend the night in a primitive shelter he'd built earlier. Everything seemed peaceful at first. His spirits were high, the weather was calm, and he proudly showed off his simple setup before settling in for the night.
So about 15 minutes later, I'd say we're pretty good. So it doesn't take that long to just put the thatching, kind of like weave it in there, kind of tangle it, and then put these sticks on top for weight. Now, is this going to be 100% foolproof from the elements? No, of course not. But it's going to be strong enough to keep the sun out of your face when you're trying to rest in the daytime, keep the winds out of you when you're trying to sleep, so you're not that cold. Now, it's not going to be waterproof. And I did see lightning coming from this direction earlier. And in fact, I'm actually starting to feel raindrops. See that? So yeah, so we're going to be getting a little bit of rain. Now, that's just part of it. In my opinion, that's part of, testing yourself as an outdoorsman, as a prepper, as a bushcrafter, whatever you want to call it. It's not always going to be sunshine and fat steaks. You got to rough it out and you got to get uncomfortable. So if you guys remember last time that I stayed here, the winds were just really strong 30-mile-an-hour winds coming into the shelter, so I was cold. This time it looks like I may get soaked. So luckily I do have a poncho in my haversack in case it gets crazy. But yeah, that's part of it. So the roof is good to go. Now I gotta take this apart and kind of make this better because this is terrible. And once again, there could be some creepy crawlers on there. By the way, I'm not boring you with all this work, but whenever I'm doing all this stuff, because there may be scorpions or something like that, I do have my my work gloves here. And in case you're wondering what's in this box, I did have just yucca seed pods when we were building the shelter because they are a great tinder source.
As dark clouds began to form, he decided to reinforce his shelter, just in case the weather turned. Luckily, the storm never came. He cooked himself a quiet meal, soaked in the silence of the desert, and eventually crawled inside to sleep. But then, the night changed.
Okay, folks, so it's time to call it a night. Like I said today, I'm not really hanging out in terms of, having some beers around the fire or nothing like that. It's more of a test of, being out here and stuff. And I foresee today being nicer anyway, an easier night, because forecast looks like the night's going to drop to the, early 60s, late 50s at most. So it's really nothing too bad. In case of anything, I do have my jacket here. And then I do also have my shamag down here, and I apologize for the crappy lighting. So in case of anything, I could just wrap that around my face or whatever. And that's about it. So in the morning, I'll wake up and I'll make some coffee. And that's about it for me. So have a good night, everyone. Okay, folks, so change of plans. I was asleep for 2 hours. Then I woke up to a truck driving nearby, and they shot my truck. They legitimately shot the windows on my truck. People I don't know. This is crazy. Look, these are my windows. This is insane. Once again, I have no clue who these people are. They're just drunks. I could hear the loud music. That's what woke me up. And sure enough, so I'm guessing this trip is over. Oh man, what a mess.
Junkyard Fox was violently awakened by the sound of gunfire. Startled and disoriented, he realized a group of drunken strangers had wandered into the area, and they were shooting at his truck parked nearby. He never found out who they were or why they did it. But one thing was clear: a single stray bullet could have ended his life right then and there. To this day, it stands as one of the most chilling camping encounters ever recorded, a reminder of just how quickly a peaceful night in the wilderness can turn deadly. So, what do you think? Was it just a random act of recklessness, or something far more sinister? Dan had camped before, but he was still new to it. A few months earlier, his first solo trip had already shaken him after a strange, unnerving encounter. This time he wasn't taking any chances. He brought a friend along.
Ray's just getting fire started. Cracked a beer each. He's on the Stella. I've got the Cruise Campo.
The two hiked deep into the forest, far from any trails or signs of life. They built a fire, set up their tents, and settled in for the night. With drinks in hand, they joked, cooked some food, and enjoyed the quiet calm of the woods. But peace in the forest never lasts long.
Nights like this. Few cans, good food, good
40
laughs.
minutes away from his house.
40 minutes away, yeah. So, someone keeps whistling. We've got the air rifle ready. But someone keeps whistling. See if I can catch it on camera.
I've got a good shot.
They're not whistling now, I don't know where they've gone. They've been shouting and whistling now, aren't they?
Yeah. Well, we had a dog.
Maybe.
From somewhere beyond the trees came a sound that didn't belong. A whistle. Not a bird. Not the wind. Human. They tried to ignore it, convincing themselves it was nothing. But later, after the fire died and they retreated to their tents, the noises returned.
Just watch something and chill out. I did hear some whistling, but I think it was someone whistling at the dog, but yeah, I think that's it. So I'm just going to chill out. And yeah, if I don't see you through the night, I'll see you in the morning. Night. I don't know if you can hear that. It sounds like someone or something walking around. Hello?
Sometime after midnight, Dan woke to the crunch of heavy footsteps circling their campsite. Slow, deliberate. Not an animal, a person.
Hello? I think it might have just been like an animal or something. Can't hear anything now. But it sounded like human footsteps. I hadn't heard anything more. Just been sat here watching my phone, doing a bit of editing, and I hadn't heard anything else. Must have just been an animal or something, but it definitely sounded like human footsteps. It's about 4:30 now. I try drop off again, just ignore it, act like it never happened. Yeah.
Heart pounding, he grabbed his flashlight and swept it across the trees. Nothing. Only darkness and the tall silhouettes of pine stretching into the night sky. But he knew what he'd heard. Someone was out there, watching. Eventually, exhaustion took over, and morning arrived with nothing more than steady rain tapping on the tents. Yet the question still lingers. Was it just an animal passing through, or the same unseen figure who whistled through the trees?